and welcome to the Crooked Letter Sports Podcast, a show about Mississippi sports and the folks who play them. I'm Tyler Cleveland, joined as always by my co-host and dad, Rick Cleveland of Mississippi Today. Dad, are you sore from all the golf watching over the weekend?
Yeah, my eyes are sore.
Your eyes are sore.
Yeah, I've heard birds tweeting in my sleep from the Masters. Yeah.
And you've seen the azaleas.
Boy, they were pretty, weren't they?
They were. We're going to talk a little bit about the Masters this past weekend. We've got an exciting guest today, joined by one of our favorite guests, returning champion Kevin Griffin, the Belhaven softball coach and father of newly minted millionaire Konnor Griffin. Always great to talk to Kevin.
Kevin, he does a great job in softball as a coach, but he really has done a great job of parenting.
Yeah, well, that's what we'll get into it with him. Yeah. Excited, so much has happened for Konnor since the last time we talked to him, so excited to get to that. Dad, first I want to start, before we start about ending on the Masters, I just want to know how your chair held up.
Held up fine. As you well know, I work out of my chair.
Yeah.
I mean, my laptop is really a laptop.
Yeah.
That's where I work. And I got a new one.
What's an ergonomic chair.
It's comfortable. Yeah.
You're only a wordsmith when it comes to written words. I got a picture of you in it with a big thumbs up, so I knew it was going to work out for you. But it served you well to watch Rory's, back-to-back win.
Boy, he makes it interesting, doesn't he?
You know, if you'd have told me at the beginning of the week that he was going to shoot even par on Saturday and Sunday, ain't no way you're going to win that thing. But it turns out his, Thursday and Friday performances were strong enough to carry him through the weekend. The only, negative thing I have to say about the tournament as a whole was I was really good this year. I really was. I gave up my wicked ways, and I felt like I deserved the Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy playoff at the Masters. And if Scheffler had made that putt on 17 that rolled right over the lip, we'd have got it.
Or if Rory hadn't gotten the amazing break on 18 to where he
went far enough right to.
He went so far right, he had a shot.
Yeah. But I had a buddy that was like, I can't believe Rory won. He shot even Saturday and Sunday. I was like, the course is hard. It's difficult. And if you watched, you saw the best players in the world struggling. And the thing about it is you can go out there, you can rattle off 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 birdies in a round. But you could also make double or triple in some cases. That's what Bryson DeChambeau was the perfect example of that. Played pretty well outside of like 2 holes on Thursday and Friday, and was nowhere to be found. Come the weekend.
Yeah, that par 68 course at Augusta is really.
I don't think he's ever going to live that down. That was an all-time foot in mouth kind of situation.
Yeah, for listeners who don't know, a couple, 3 or 4?
Oh, it had to be 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago, DeChambeau goes to Augusta and says this course is a par 67 or 68 for me.
Yeah.
Hadn't
right.
quite.
I don't think he shot 67 or 68 since. Yeah. Dad, we got a lot to get to on the show. I want to spend a couple of minutes on this WNBA draft because that's fresh. We're recording this on Tuesday morning. 2 Ole Miss players taken in the first 2 rounds. First was the small forward Cody McMahon, taken 11th overall by the Washington Mystics, and then the power forward Latasha Lattimore, taken 21st overall in the second round by the Chicago Sky. There was a time when, I wouldn't have even paid attention to the WNBA draft, but it just kind of shows, where Mississippi basketball is right now to have 2 players taken that high. Obviously, Coach Joe's doing a fantastic job of player development, but gives me a great excuse, I should say, or a great opportunity to follow the WNBA.
Yeah, and it tells me that she better be busy recruiting.
Yeah, right. Got to replace these two inside key players on the inside.
Yeah.
I know Lattimore was kind of a career journeyman. This was her, I want to say, fourth college in 5 years.
And
But
Cody came from Ohio State.
right.
You know, we get back to where college sports is today. I'm sure that Coach Yo is scanning the portal.
Yeah. Well, you better,
Yeah.
or you ain't gonna win.
Yeah, that's right.
I did see also that it was 5 UCLA players taken before with the first 9 picks, including 3 in a row. So we were talking about
Wonder why they won so
right.
well.
We were talking about the lack of parity last week. I think the proof is in the pudding here.
Yeah.
But that was really exciting for them, and I think it's huge for Ole Miss as a program. You send. There are only 2 rounds, and you send 2 players into the draft. I mean, that's got to be big recruiting wise.
Yeah.
Dad, in college baseball, we got to hit on this because it was such a big weekend. The Rebels swept LSU in Oxford, which was just huge for them. They needed it bad.
And coming a week after they took 2 or 3 from at Florida.
I know, and I think for them it has kind of moved them from, you kind of put them into tiers. They were kind of in the also ran tier, and now looking like a contender, which we thought they were all along. But I mean, you look at the grand scheme of things, and everybody else that's playing so well, kind of moves them into the contender category.
Yeah, absolutely. I never thought they weren't contenders. Over and over again, I guess. We've said it and written it, and now they're proving it.
Well, the results are kind of matching it, and we'll see what happens. So, like I said, we're recording this on Tuesday morning. They're playing a game at Trustmark Park tonight against Southern Miss. So we'll see what happens there. The Eagles kind of going – well, before we move on from Ole Miss, I should mention the fight in right field. I don't think we should go any further without talking about it. It kind of went viral over the weekend. In the video, for those who don't know, they're escorting an LSU fan and his wife out of the right field area in Ole Miss, and a fan throws a beer on the guy, and the security guard leaves the guy who he was escorting to confront the fan who threw the beer, and the LSU fan comes right over his shoulder and squares him up. And apparently there was some ground and pound involved because the guy ended up in jail. I cannot imagine what that football game is going to be like in Oxford.
September 19th, is that right?
Hell,
September 17th or 19th.
I can't remember. I know it's early.
Yeah. It is. We may have federal troops back in Oxford. We may need them.
Yeah.
It's going to be
and you know who is going to be the main instigator leading up to it.
Yeah.
So
No doubt.
we'll see how that plays out, but it is not a good we're not a good opening salvo this
There could be security issues.
Right, maybe. Well, yeah, we'll see. Not that there aren't always at an Ole Miss LSU game. It seems like it is ratcheted up to 1,000. They had Southern Miss, who I previously mentioned, is playing tonight in Pearl against the Rebels. Finally lost the Sun Belt Series. We had talked about it.
They frittered it away.
They did, and it's kind of been the same story the past couple of weeks. I think they're now either right at or a game under 500 the last 3 weeks. They're still maintaining their Monday's rankings came out. I think they're still 10 in the D1 baseball poll. Their RPI is still holding strong somehow. But they're 8-7 in the Sun Belt Conference now. They're clearly in the middle of the pack category. There's 2 teams ranked ahead of them, and they got a shot at one of them this weekend, Texas State. But what do they need to get right to get back on track?
Well, situational hitting has not been good, and they're still searching for the right guys as Saturday and Sunday starters. I mean, they're having And then the strength of the team through the early part of the season when they were so hot was the bullpen. And the bullpen is what? How many? They had like 12 free passes in the Sunday game. 8 walks, 4 hit batsmen. You can't.
No.
You can't do
it doesn't
that.
matter who you're playing.
Yeah, you can't do that. And State's going through a tough time right now.
Well, I was going to get to them. Yeah. We kind of both gave them a pass last weekend, getting swept by Georgia at home because Georgia was the 5th-ranked team in the country and looks to be hitting on all cylinders. But this past weekend, they played I think you could objectively say this is not a good Tennessee team. I mean,
they're not your usual Tennessee
right.
team.
They're not like a top 10 program right now. They sweep the Bulldogs. I mean, they went from, as again we're ranking them here, they were a top tier SEC contender to now.
We thought maybe
I was going to say it. I had been calling them the best team in college baseball for a month, and 2 weeks ago you said you agreed with me finally that they're the best team in college baseball, and they have not won an SEC game since. So
Nostradamus
right.
is what we should have named you.
So let's talk about this. What is the deal in Starkville? Because we know they have the talent, and we know that they have a top-notch coaching staff. I mean,
I have the same 2-word.
You're going to say it's baseball. It drives me crazy.
Well, it's true.
But
it's time after time after time. Teams go through bad periods. Great teams go through bad periods.
Right. Well, they're going through one.
In 1927, the Yankees had the best team in baseball. The Washington Senators at that time might have been the worst team in baseball. And the Senators beat the Yankees multiple times. It's just baseball.
Yeah. Well, they didn't beat them 3 times in a row at home, I don't think. So I don't know. I worry about it a little bit. I hope that they can get it together because as much as these games matter because we're into conference play and this is where the rubber meets the road. It's not the most important time to be playing well.
No,
not yet.
Next month.
Right. So got to get it right before then. Dad, without further ado, let's get into it with our guest. We're going to do the Not Another Cleveland segment with our guest, Kevin Griffin. Real excited to talk to him today.
Let's do it.
Blessed today to be joined again by one of our favorite returning champions, Kevin Griffin, the head softball coach at Belhaven University and father of newly minted multimillionaire Konnor Griffin, who recently signed a $140 million contract with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us again.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Always fun coming in with you guys.
Well, we couldn't have got you at a better time. On top of we're gonna talk a lot about Konnor and the situation in Pittsburgh, and how proud you must be. But we got to start with your red hot Belhaven Blazers softball team, winners of 11 in a row, ranked 8th in the country. I believe RPI around 12. Is that right?
Right.
Boy, you guys are just red hot at the right time.
Yeah, it's been fun so far. Pretty much a new group from last year, so. I thought it would take a little bit of time to kind of gel and create some team chemistry, but ever since March the 14th, I think we've won 21 of the last 22 and 11 in a row now, as you said, and sitting pretty to get an at-large bid for the national tournament if we don't win our conference tournament. Hopefully we will. That'll happen in 2 weeks. So it's been a good year. We've got a really talented group. This might be the most talented team that I've ever had in my 16 years at Belhaven, and that's saying a lot because we've finished second in the country 3 times, 5th once, and 3rd once.
Yeah, you got earlier this year, 3 weeks ago, you got your 500. Is that?
Yeah, 500 wins is a testament to having really good players over the years and complete buy-in, great assistant coaching staff. So it's as much a team milestone as it is a personal milestone to get to that number.
Yeah, well, particularly this year, the assistant coaches get a lot of credit because
Right.
I think there were like 5 or 6 games in there where you were in Pittsburgh and Chicago with Konnor.
Yeah, Kennedy Caruth, Courtney Fairley, Jordan Hallman, all 3 assistants kind of held the fort down for the last 2 to 3 weeks while I was gone, and they went 5-0. I was worried about coming back this past weekend. And us not playing well, I thought I was going to have to walk to the car. But fortunately, we put up 15 runs in 2 games, and it all worked out.
Yeah. Well, so much has happened for your family since we last spoke on the pod. I know Konnor's gotten married and signed this deal. I mean, what's this whirlwind kind of been like for y'all?
It's been great. The Pittsburgh Pirates have been a great organization, and I don't think we could have asked to be in a better organization from the standpoint of them letting him move through the system quickly. He did get married, got engaged back in October, got married in January, so it was quick. But it's been great because Konnor didn't want to be by himself again for another full year, and they've dated since they were in 8th grade. So it's not like Dindy just got on board since the baseball stuff happened. So it's a great family. We love their family, love her, and they're a perfect fit for each other.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, well, I'm interested in daddy questions, and so how did you handle being dad during all these negotiations? I'm recalling how Archie Manning always handled, I'm there if you need me, but I don't want to get in. I mean, I don't want to be the guy that's looking over your shoulder all the time.
Yeah. You had to navigate through it. I mean, he was still a 19-year-old kid, still is, and you just want to help guide your kids down the right road and answer questions for them that they may not understand. There's a whole lot more that goes into it besides, hey, here's X number of dollars that we're offering you to play the game of baseball, take it or leave it. There's so much more that goes into it. You have to look at what you're giving up in arbitration in 3 years, what you're giving up in free agency after 6. There's a CBA negotiation about to happen, a potential lockout next year. The free agents market might move to 5 years instead of 6 years. So you have to navigate through all that kind of stuff and figure out if you're making the right decision by taking a long-term extension. And again, we relied on the agency, XL Sports Management, Joey Devine and Casey Close. Casey had Derek Jeter his whole career. He's got Clayton Kershaw, Zach Greinke, Jason Hayward, Dansby Swanson. The list goes on and on. Kyle Tucker that just signed the big, massive deal. So you have to rely and trust those guys to guide you through this as well. They've been doing this a long time, so we completely trusted them to help us out.
Well, you mentioned how well Pittsburgh had treated y'all so far, and he seems to be loving it. I mean, we watch. I will tell you this. I was signing Rick up for his annual Braves subscription service for watching, which it changes every year. Don't get me started on that. But this year he said, "Is there a way I can watch other teams?" And I said, "Well, yeah, we can hook that up. There's a price for everything." And so he signed up for it, and he's been watching the Pirates, and I've been watching when I can. Konnor seems to be having a good time. On top of everything that's going on and getting to play in the big leagues and stuff, he really seems to be enjoying himself.
He loves it. He just loves playing the game. And there's pressure. I mean, you sign that kind of deal, and you're a 19-year-old kid given the opportunity to be in the big leagues with only 5 AAA games under your belt. They're going to allow him to kind of learn on the job. And the biggest thing is learning how to pick up big league spin. And he's gone through some struggles a little bit offensively, but I think where he adds so much value defensively is what they care about right now. He's saving a lot of runs at shortstop.
He sure is.
And
really is.
I think that's the biggest thing for him right now is to continue to play good defense, make things happen when you get on base. Last night he got on base and they picked at him twice at first base, and he got to second, and they tried to pick him off twice at second. Even the announcer said they feel like Konnor got in the pitcher's head, and then the Pirates put up a 10 spot in that inning. So he's able to affect the game in other ways right now, and I think they're willing to give him a little bit longer leash offensively.
Yeah, they're you talk about the spin. They're slidering him to death. I mean, they're and
yeah,
it's that pitcher, the one that looks like a fastball out of the hands, and then it looks like it's headed to the middle plate, and then it ends up 6 inches outside.
Yeah.
He's having a
it's vision training. You want to be able to pick the ball up out of a pitcher's hands, and you have to see it in certain spots. If you've got a pitcher who's a sinker ball pitcher, you have to see it up out of his hand. If it's down, you got to leave it down. A pitcher with a hard slider, you have to see it come out of his hand in a certain location in regards to the plate. And if you don't see it there, you better lay off. So it's hard. Hitting is one of the hardest things to do in sports. And I always said hitting a golf ball was, because I can't hit one straight at all. But hitting is hard, and I think the administration of the Pirates, the front office people know that, and that's why they're giving him a little bit more leeway.
When we were talking off camera earlier, Kevin, you were telling me about the difference between AAA and Major League pitching, which I've always, when we used to have the Braves in Pearl, quite often, 7 or 8 times over the time, but there were guys that went straight from AA to the majors.
Skip AAA.
Yeah, and hit.
Right.
And hit. But they were older than 19 years old. But tell, for our listeners and viewers, what is that big difference between AAA and majors?
Well, I think in AAA, you've got guys who are trying to pound the zone. They're trying to prove they can throw strikes so they can get that bump up. And the biggest thing that I've seen is you go high school, college, and all the way up through the minor leagues, pitchers don't pitch you backwards. If you're in a 2-0 count, that's usually a fastball count. In all levels of the minor leagues, you can sit on fastball in that situation and tee off. In the big leagues, they'll pitch you backwards. They have so many charts, and they game plan you to death. They know where your weaknesses are, and they pitch you backwards sometimes. And so you can't guess. If you go up there guessing, if you're sitting on slider, sitting on spin, and you're going to get beat with a heater. If you're sitting on the fastball, you have to work off the fastball and then react to spin. So I think that's the biggest difference from the minor league level, the AAA level, to the big leagues, is pitchers are not afraid to pitch you backwards.
Well, on top of a top-notch coaching staff that Konnor's playing for in Pittsburgh, he's got a friend now, Jake Mangum, another friend of the pod, who, I watched, I think it was Sunday, they both scored on the same hit.
Yep.
And it was a pretty cool moment. It got to be for any Jackson Prep fan out there to see that happen in a major league game. But they've it seems, I know they worked out together. It seems like they've formed a pretty good friendship. What's that relationship been like?
It's been great to have Jake up there. He's kind of taken Konnor under his wing a little bit. Jake and Konnor didn't really know each other too well before they started working out in the off season this past year. Jake's 10 years older. Jake just turned 30, and he spent 7 years in the minor leagues. And kudos to him for sticking with it and grinding it out. There's many years that he should have gotten the call because of his numbers. He was over a 300 hitter in the minor leagues the majority of his minor league career, and just never got the opportunity. It doesn't mean he wasn't good enough. We all know he was the SEC all-time hits leader. He's good enough, and he's proven that at the big league level now.
Yeah, he and Jake, like Konnor, affects the game so many different ways. Defensively, he's outstanding. He covers so much ground, and when he gets on base, he's a problem.
He is, and he finds ways to get on base. He's a pest at the plate. He'll spoil pitch after pitch, and that's the thing about Jake. He's not going to ever try to get too big and do too much. if you throw him middle away, he's going to hit it the opposite way. He's not trying to hit the ball out of the park, even though you get to the big league level and all these guys hear it all the time. They want you to lift the ball. They want you to hit the ball in the air. They want you to drive the baseball. And, that's not Jake's game. That's not really Konnor's game, honestly. I mean, Konnor's always been a gap-to-gap guy. He hit 21 home runs last year in the minor leagues, but Konnor is better when he's hitting line drives and he's getting on base and he's affecting the game with his legs.
I am amazed that a guy his size covers so much ground at shortstop. I mean, he's got the quickness of a 5'10", 180 pound.
Yeah.
And he's what, 6'4",
6'4",
and 220?
225, almost 230. So, but he's worked hard at that. He only played shortstop at Jackson Prep. Through the travel ball circuit, growing up, and even in his junior and senior year playing travel ball, he was always in center field. So Jackson Prep's the only shortstop development that he ever knew. So I think that surprises a lot of people just because he's done so well at the position and done well enough that they wanted him to be their big league shortstop. But he's worked hard at it. Had to learn, being 6'4", to get low to the ground, work ground up. But you said it, he does have great range, and I think that's what the Pirates like, is he has the ability to go get some balls in the up the middle and in the 5-6 hole that other people may not be able to get to.
I'm still just flabbergasted that it was 26 months ago that I went out to Prep to watch him play and interviewed him. 26 months ago, and now he's starting at shortstop in the big leagues.
Right.
Yeah,
It
blows my mind too, Rick. I'm proud of him. He's worked hard to get to this point, but time flies, and you're right. It wasn't that long ago that he was in high school.
Well, I remember writing at that time that if there was any 17-year-old I had ever known or met who could handle what he was fixing to have to handle, the immediate fame, the money, advancing against, guys that were way older than him. I said, it's him, and it's proved out.
Well, he's mature beyond his age, for sure. I always said I wish I could be as mature as he is when I was his age. Even now, sometimes to an extent, I wish I could be as mature as my 19-year-old kid. He's had to grow up fast. He's had to go through a lot, and it hasn't been easy. I mean, there's been some struggles physically, mentally, just to live up to expectations. But I couldn't be more proud of how he's handled this situation. We always told him, people forget your stats. People are going to not always remember how many games you won, but they'll always remember how you made them feel and how you treated them. And he's remained humble. He keeps it a kid's game, and I think that's important, just to go out and play it like it's a kid's game every day.
Well, it's sure been fun to watch.
Yeah, we've been watching, and we're going to continue to watch, and we're all pulling for him. So, man, when you talk to him, tell him we said hello.
I will, for sure.
And also, it's time. It's time for your team to be hot.
I know, and that's the hard part about it. Doesn't matter what level of softball or baseball it is. I mean, you can be great during the regular season, but when you get to the postseason, you've got to get hot and stay hot. And that's why the best teams don't always win at all.
Yeah, we've seen it in baseball time after time in Mississippi. We've obviously got a plethora of really good baseball programs. But it really matters what you do in May and June.
Yeah,
May and June's when it happens.
Even Belhaven at the D3 level, their baseball program is really good right now. Patrick Roby, who was the head coach at Madison Central for years, is doing a great job with that program. And they started out, they got up to number 4 or 5 in the country, hit a little hiccup in the last few weeks. They bounced back last weekend and had a sweep. But they're ranked 12th in the MPI. We call it MPI and D3. RPI is what everybody has always heard it called. But, I mean, they're 12th and ranked in the top 20 in the country. So another baseball program, even at the D3 level, that's doing great things here in Mississippi to go along with State, Ole Miss, Southern Miss.
Yeah.
Well, here's to a big summer for all of our baseball teams, the Belhaven softball team, and Konnor Griffin.
And the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And the Pittsburgh Pirates.
The Pirates have more Mississippi fans than they have ever had. That much is for sure.
Well, you know, it's crazy to think that Jake and Konnor both being from Jackson Prep, but look at Will Warren. He's in the starting rotation with the New York Yankees, and he was a Prep guy too. He actually, I think, played with Jake a little bit when they were in high school. So to have 3 guys at that level from right here in the metro just speaks volumes about baseball here in this state, I think.
Yeah.
Well, let's leave it there, Kevin. Thanks so much again for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks again to Kevin for joining us. Dad, let's move on to the Blitz. Dad, top of the Blitz today. Jackson Academy has announced the hiring of Chuck Box, our old buddy, who was the head coach at Jackson Prep for years and years. I think he won 6 championships there. Chuck comes to JA after serving a couple years as the player development director for the University of Texas. I know he is probably looking forward to I know he'll pour his heart and soul into it, but a much less rigorous work schedule than you do at the college level these days.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. And he's got family here. I mean, people say, why would you go make that move?
Well, the JA, that's a great job.
Yeah.
And it's a slam dunk hire for the Raiders. Brings a pedigree of 6 MAIS championships already. If anybody can turn it around, he will.
That Prep JA rivalry is about to get a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, fun. Real quick story on this. The last year I was covering high school sports at the Clarion Ledger. They sent me out to Jackson Prep for media day. Chuck used to have a media day, and he'd cook for everybody and everything. And then afterwards, they'd have a home run derby for the media members where they pair you up with one player. And I got to pick first, and I picked Jerry and Ely. And we won the home run derby. And I hit 0 home runs, but we won the belt. That's all I have to say. I think I still got it somewhere because that was the last one he held. Dad, moving on. The Braves don't suck yet. They have. I don't know what the standings are this morning. We were watching last night. They got beat 10-4.
They're in first place.
But they're in first place. Despite all the injuries they've had, now there's reports that Spencer Strider may be back ahead of schedule. Are you bullish on the Braves at this point?
If they stay healthy, I think they're as good as anybody in the division with a possible exception of the Phillies.
Yeah. Acuna's not even hitting that well, and their offensive numbers are way up, thanks a lot to Drake Baldwin.
And Matt Olson.
Yeah, both of them just raking the ball. If Acuna and Austin Riley come into form, they're going to be hell on wheels.
Well, Austin's been hitting the ball lately.
Yep.
You look at that lineup. Everybody in that lineup has done it before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in every one of them to do it.
Yeah.
So
it's got to put it together at the right time. Dad, the NBA playoffs start in earnest, I believe, tonight with some play-in games. I know you probably hadn't followed much during the season. I know I haven't. But I was looking over the teams and the records, and I really should pay better attention because I think the Warriors have like a losing record. And last I checked, they were like the best team in basketball, so I need to check back in. I usually don't follow until like the conference finals because that's when it gets good.
It's when they start playing hard.
Yeah, start playing hard, start playing defense. They're not resting guys. It's it's just a better product. Do you have a team you're following?
I like San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like Wemby.
I like Wemby, and I like the way the team plays. They're They're fun to watch.
Yep. Me too. If I had to pick one, they'd be my team. Dad, I got a couple of I got one gripe and one fun story to get to here at the end. My one gripe is today is the ESPN coverage of professional wrestling. It is. I mean, it seems like we've been devolving into this for some time, but now that I guess it's the ABC, Disney, whatever family now has the rights to one of the wrestling shows. I couldn't help. I turned on the other day to SportsCenter, and they were interviewing a wrestler about his upcoming match, and I wanted to throw my remote through the TV because it's all scripted. It's not sports, and these guys, as big and strong as they are, these guys, they're not athletes. They're actors. They're
athletic actors.
Right, athletic actors. I'll say that. I don't want to give them no credit.
Let me tell you my wrestling story from when I was a Cub sports reporter at the Hattiesburg American. They had wrestling in Hattiesburg on Thursday nights out at the fairgrounds, and every Friday morning, their publicity guy would bring by the results.
So you could run them in the afternoon paper. Right.
Yeah, so we'd run them in the afternoon paper. And so one week, he came by on Wednesday. And I said, wait, y'all wrestled on Tuesday night this week? He said, no, these are Friday night's results. I'm not going to be in town.
Oh, man.
So there you go on wrestling.
Yeah. I remember when I used to get mad that the NHL highlights were taking up my SportsCenter time. And let me just say, oh, how the mighty have fallen. I don't know what's going on with our four-letter sports overlords, but I don't like it at all. Dad, our final story of the week comes to us from Florida, where a couple of guys – it's a fun story. Anthony Buell and March Chadwick, 56 and 57, are now awaiting arraignment after being charged in Florida for driving with a dead alligator on the roof of their car. They got picked up on the traffic cams and reported by a couple of concerned motorists. They got arrested because apparently possessing a alligator carcass is illegal in Florida. But they're being held on a $5,000 bond. If I would have told you this story and left out the state, you think you could have got it?
Yeah, I think I'd have gotten it. My question is, are they Georgia fans or Florida
I don't know.
fans?
Supposedly they were driving towards the out of state towards the East Coast. So I'm guessing either Southwest Georgia or possibly South Carolina. Supposedly they were headed to a taxidermist.
Wow.
It makes the deer carcasses I've seen hanging out of trunks in Rankin County seem tame by comparison.
Yeah.
That's all the time we got, everybody. Thanks so much for listening in. A reminder, if you're listening to this podcast, you can watch it on the YouTube channel. Just kind of search the Crooked Letter Sports, and you will find us. Thanks, everybody, for listening in. Have a good week out there, and we'll see you next week.